lovely Abbie Dagrin, and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I'll be doing one on Brooke Shields. I'll be speaking on her personality traits as well as her characteristic traits. I'll also be speaking on how a lot of the placements in her chart has led to her success and a lot of the events that have happened in her life. So please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure that you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you share this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who loves Brooke Shields or really loves my content. Now let's get right into the video. So Brooke Shields was born on May 31st, 1965. So this qualifies her to be a Gemini. So with this placement, she's someone who has endless curiosity, a playful sense of humor, and she's very clever-minded. She's also someone who is always active and loves to have so much fun in life. She's very energetic, and she has an infectious sense of humor. She's someone who's very quick-witted. She's very bright, she's very open-minded, and she's someone at times who may have a short attention span because Geminis do at times. However, they are very fun to be around. They have a lot of fun just being there, and they're just great people because they're just the life of the party. So I feel like that's why Brooke Shields was able to make a lot of friends in the entertainment industry because of her personality. Her next placement would be her moon in Gemini. So she's someone who is known for her humor and her entertainment. She's someone who loves to have fun, and she's someone who is going to always talk about things on a surface level. She's someone who loves to do things that brings out her emotions a lot. She's someone who has a close social circle and always on the move, ready to have a lot of change and challenge in her life. She's also someone who loves to socialize and talk to different people. She loves to intellectualize her emotions. She's someone who's very optimistic in her life. She's very curious, very quick-witted. She's very communicative and very impressionable, and she's someone who at times can be unorganized because sometimes the emotions run high. However, she's someone who just has a lot of fun. Next up is her Mercury in Taurus. It makes sense because she was born as a Gemini, so she would either get the Gemini placement, the Taurus placement, or the Cancer placement in Mercury. So someone with this placement tends to be very much patient. They are the types of people who take their time in making a decision. She loves taking into account every fact, every detail, and every circumstance. She's someone who is going to be very understanding of people, and being very patient is understanding. She loves to give practical and down-to-earth advice. She's very reflective. In her mind, she's very dependable, very calming, but she's not someone who's very panicky. She's someone who can be calm. She generates trust, and she always knows where she stands with you. And she's someone who has a very traditional approach. She has a great quality in her voice, and if you hear her speak, she really has that. Up next would be her Venus in Gemini. So this just shows that she has a Gemini stellium because she has at least 3 placements in Gemini. People with this placement tend to be social butterflies. So they love to talk to people, love to have fun. So she has very much Gemini energy. In regards to her relationships, she wants someone who has friendships, and someone who just loves communication, loves humor, loves having mental stimulation, and loves having a short trip. She's someone who's very witty, and she's very playful, and this what kind of makes people attracted to her. She wants a stimulating, lighthearted relationship. She's someone who has a big group of friends, or someone who wants to have a great conversation. She's someone who is just so much fun. She may flirt with a lot of people, but she just needs someone who will give her variety and freedom in her relationships. Up next would be her Mars in Virgo. So with this placement, she's someone who's very much service-oriented and research-savvy, and this is kind of what gives her her drive. So she's someone who's a great communicator. She's very analytical, and she's someone who is going to really work. She's someone who's very rational, and she's someone who's the type of person who is going to follow the rules, and she's always going to maintain a schedule because of this placement. She's also going to be very smart and very intelligent. She's very patient as well. She's very diligent in her life, and she is someone who is very attentive. This is something that really does benefit her because this is what drives her. She's able to organize her life perfectly, and she loves to achieve her goals and success because of this. She has a lot of intellect, and she's able to really benefit a lot from that in her drive. Up next would be her Jupiter in Gemini. What I'm seeing in regards to her chart is she has a lot of mutable energy in her chart. So she's someone who tends to be very flexible and can really morph into different types of environments. So with this Jupiter in Gemini, she's someone who's all about connecting with others and utilizing communication to bring her prosperity and her luck. She's someone who's great at writing, speaking, and media, and this is what brings her luck: her communication and her being able to connect with other people. So connecting is important because you're able to network, and also having a communication is something that's important for her as well. Also, what brings her luck is her optimism and her cheerfulness. This is something that's really beneficial for her because this can bring her luck as well. She's also someone who's very successful when she's using her natural intellectual abilities, and she loves adventure, communication, and happiness. So this is a great placement for her. Up next would be her Saturn in Pisces. With this placement, she's someone who may have the obstacle in her life that has a lot to do with making personal sacrifices. That's a lot of obstacles, and that's something that can be very difficult for her. She has the strength of being intuitive and creative with many of her talents. Also with this placement, she's someone who has a tendency that her life can be out of control and based on sometimes reasonable fears, and it can be very difficult for her because she's someone who may have had to fill a parent role in her life earlier on in life. So she's learned to take responsibility on her own life and trying her best to have realistic expectations of her life. She just has to remember she's a human, and it's okay for her to make mistakes in her life at times. Up next will be her Uranus in Virgo, and with this placement, she has amazing intuition, and she's able to assess a situation and move ahead in the right direction. This is something that's very beneficial for her because having intuition is important. She'll be able to make decisions not solely on logic, but also on her gut feeling. She's also someone who assesses a situation, so she looks at a situation, and if she sees that the situation does not serve her and no longer serves her, then she's able to move in a different direction, which is great because that just gives her mutable energy, and it gives her that energy that she's able to, regardless of what happens, believe in herself, know that she's capable of doing other things, and knows when things no longer serve her. So this is very beneficial for her, and this is very great for her in a way. So I really like this placement for her. Up next would be her Neptune in Scorpio. So with this placement, she's someone who finds pleasure and inspiration from the darkest of places, which is interesting because Scorpios, they do like things that probably other people would not recommend or are afraid to go into. So they like the things that are of the darker side of life and is attracted to things that are different, things that are mystical or of the occult. They are the types of people who love to encourage different types of behaviors, and they're the types of people who have intuitive understanding of deeper emotions and tend to just really have a visionary type of talent that they're able to know things in advance, or they're just able to feel things on a different level than other people are able to with a Neptune placement. So this really makes sense because she is someone who was in Hollywood, and she's someone who's just been able to be very experienced in different things. Up next would be her Virgo in the Pluto placement. So she was born between 1957 and 1972, so she's a part of Generation X. She has a lot of perfection and down-to-earth attitude. She's someone who's very much hardworking, self-improving, and very skilled. She's someone who loves to talk about the environment and loves to talk about technology. And something that people with this placement have is the cost of achievement. So they're the types of people who may be workaholics or people who really want to work hard. And that's something that does not help them a lot because working isn't the only thing. However, one good thing about this placement is that they're always willing to help somebody and offer the practical care necessary to improve anyone's status in life. So this is very much beneficial for her and really explains Pluto and Virgo. Up next would be her North Node in Gemini. So with this placement, she will need to really develop these attributes in order for her to uncover her hidden gifts and talents. First is having healthy curiosity, asking questions to learn how others think, seeing both sides of a situation, having tact and logic, communication of internal things, a positive approach to life and other people, purposely cheering people up, learning a way in which she should express her ideas, listening to what other people say, having openness to new ideas and experiences, seeking factual information before making decisions. Also, another thing she'll need to work on is being able to search for details other than different things, learning to listen to people around her, and even if she feels that she knows best, staying connected to the present as well. Up next is her Chiron in Pisces. So this is a very difficult placement to have sometimes. So if you guys have listened to Brooke Shields' life, she has been through a lot, and usually with this placement, a lot of people have a lot of hurt in regards to humanity. So they're the types of people who really don't believe in humanity or is scared of humanity because of the things that have happened to them. And if you have looked at her life, you would understand why she may have a fear of humans or not really like them in the best way, or is fearful of them, starting with her own parent. So that's something that's very hard and difficult. However, what she has to realize is that other people, which is hard for her, are not the same way as the people who have hurt her. Not all human beings are the same, and she should try her best to channel her healer and healing herself and healing others as well from the hurt that she's gone through in life. So this really describes this placement for her. Up next would be her ascendant/rising in Virgo, and with this placement, she tends to be someone who's very logical, very helpful, very neat, and very precise. She's someone who's very practical in her life. She's very much organized as well. And sometimes she can be critical, but it is for the best of herself and people around her. She's someone who may be reserved and shy in a new setting and can appear detached or critical. But she's someone who is sensitive, and she may be a picky eater sometimes, but she's someone who's very great at pinpointing details. She can be overly worrisome and high-strung, and this is very common with Virgo placements, having a lot of worry and anxiety. She's someone who's very dependable. She dislikes public displays of affection, but she's attracted to those who need help. So someone who needs help or helping people is something that Virgo risings really like, and they just love helping people in the best way. Last but not least would be her midheaven in Gemini, and with this placement, she's someone who is presented in the public eye in regards to her career as always juggling different tasks, fighting the words that she really needs. She's someone who loves to being kept informed. She's someone who's very much adaptable, which makes sense because it's a mutable placement. She's someone who's very imaginative, so she's able to imagine different things. She's very curious. She's someone who's very quick and very optimistic in her life as well. With this placement, she's someone who's going to make sure that she's in different types of careers or doing things simultaneously. So having a job is something that's not on their list. However, if they do get an occupation or a job, they're going to make sure that they're able to do different jobs. So this is something that really benefits them in the long run. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today on Brooke Shields Natal Chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about her? Did you get a better understanding as to who she is as a person and how a lot of the placements she has really has dictated her life in a way, as well as her career? Please also let me know down in the comments section who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you've hit that notification bell, as well as that like button and that share button. And last but not least, please make sure you follow me on all of my social media accounts, from my Facebook to podcast under Abbie Dagrin, my Etsy store to Instagram under Gael Beauty, and my PayPal that is linked down below. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.